Thank you all for joining today. It's the four of us right now, but I know that a lot of people will be watching the replay. So we're going to actually just go right into the Mermaid Akashic Record Prayer with Amaya to open the frequency, and then we can share after. Thank you, Amaya.
Hello, beautiful sisters. It is such an honor to be here with you all and to tune into this divine remembrance together. I just invite all of us to land here fully and take a couple of deep breaths together. Allowing this vessel to be a safe space for all that you are. We call upon the highest creator of all, our divine Mother, Father, the Holy Spirit of Ma, of Gaia, the clarity of the crystalline waters of creation, the realms of light, our soul essence, we call upon you, the divine support team of the sacred Akashic Records. Rain forth your love, your wisdom, the truth to shine through our eyes, and our higher hearts and mind. Allow us to come into communion with the Most High. Allow us to come into communion with the mermaid realm of the Akashic Records. We call upon the highest forces of love, the indwelling light of the Holy Spirit, to be the guiding and protecting presence here now in this container. Guide us to see beyond all seeming limitations. Guide us into the clarity of the crystalline waters of creation. Lead us into the highest alignment with our soul. Lead us into the waters of delight. Support us in swimming in the waters of serenity. Help us to know ourselves in the light of the Akashic Records. Help us to see ourselves through the eyes of the Lords of the Records, and enable us to share the compassion, wisdom, guidance, truth, and love that the masters, teachers, and loved ones have for us. Help us to know ourselves in the light of the Akashic Records. Help us to see ourselves through the eyes of the Lords of the Records, and enable us to share the compassion, guidance, wisdom, truth, and love that the masters, teachers, and loved ones have for us. Help us to know ourselves in the light of the Akashic Records, and enable us to live as one with you, Great Spirit, to swim in the waters of serenity, to embody your glory and all of our grace. The Akashic Records are now open. Amen. The Akashic Records are now open. Amen. The Akashic Records are now open. Amen. What does it mean to live as one with the essence, the crystalline essence of creation? To swim in the waters of delight, to embody your glory in all of its radiance and power, to ebb and flow with the waves and the currents that this human experience brings to us. Let us take a moment now to receive our divine inheritance fully, to allow ourselves to be claimed by the fountains of love, to allow our sacred chalice to be filled entirely so that our cup runneth over. May we allow ourselves to see ourselves in clarity, to recognize the holy waters of life are indwelling within us, that we are here as emanations of crystalline purity. Can we remember our true essence that is joy, the sensuality that is a natural expression of joy, of openness to life, exuberance, bliss, knowing ourselves in this life in all of its glory? Can we take delight in who we are as we are here now? The mermaids come to share this delightful remembrance with you, that you too can feel ease here now, that you too can take delight in yourself and in this life, in the beauty that is you. Ease and flow is your divine inheritance, is what is always here and available to you. Let us open up and allow ourselves to be purified by the sweet remembrance, to allow beauty to overtake us entirely, till all there is exuberance. All there is contentment. We invite you to open your chest, to lift your head up towards the heavens, to claim your divine inheritance, to claim the joy that desires to live through you, that wants to express through you. through your sensuality, through all of your creations, through your voice, through your eyes, the joy that wishes to be shared with all of creation. We invite you to reflect on delight, to recognize the sacred responsibility that we all have in cultivating more and more delight for ourselves and for each other in this life. Delight being a natural expression that is a result of living as one with the eternal, with your source, the source of it all, love. Can we allow ourselves to be conduits for this incredible joy? Can we delight in our beauty, in the purity of our essence, the purity of our expression? Can we delight in the beautiful innocence that is here? Let us remember that this body, this vessel, is always responding to what we carry in our hearts. Can we allow our hearts to be our compass, to guide us in each and every moment towards greater joy, into the realms of ecstasy? Let us swim in the waters of delight with our mermaid kin. Let us bask in this glory. Let us take delight in the gifts of love, the gifts of our Creator. Let us swim in the waters, the seas of tranquility. Remembering the tranquil waters from which we all come from. Let us feel the divine embrace of our beloved Earth Mother as she takes delight in our joy. She takes delight in our expression, And may your delight be a sacred offering onto all of creation. We thank you for the courage, for the willingness to choose love, for allowing yourself to be filled with the grace, the glory, the beauty, the gifts of the Holy Spirit. Your soul essence is a gift to be shared and infused into all that you do, into all that you create. And we thank you for your pure expression. Naho. This concludes our Akashic opening prayer. The Akashic records are still open and would like to stay open for the remainder of this call.
Mm. 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 Thank you so much, Amaya, and the mermaids. And I love that the Akashic records are staying open for this call. I was feeling this too.
Mm,
Stay in this state of being really dropped into our wombs and our heart and share from that space. Hmm. So as this is an opening ceremony call, I'm going to share why the opening ceremony is now, even though, the frequency of Sirena has been alive this past 3 weeks. And what I mean by opening ceremony is we are actually all the 8 women that are here, including myself, with our wombs, we're opening like the portal for the mermaid consciousness to move through us even more. And definitely there will be some big energetic shifts for all of you that have showed up. I'm so grateful. And the ceremony is awakening our inner mermaids and inner sirens. And as I've said many times, our voices are stronger when we're together. And I'm hoping to hear from everyone that is present, their inner mermaid, their inner siren. And I want to share that Sirena is not a regular launch. Sirena is not, about making money, about ego, anything. Sirena is really the mermaid consciousness, this ancient ocean mother goddess who came to me through dreams and visions and planted this seed to bring women together. And I couldn't have done it alone. I wouldn't have done it alone. Um, Everything from the aesthetics to the guest speakers to the numbers to the pricing to like the wording, everything has been channeled through my channel, through my womb, through my mermaid womb. And it's really coming through this galactic mermaid consciousness that is reawakening in our planet right now. through so many women who feel called to the waters, who feel called to the mermaid energy. It's not some like little girl play thing that I know that when people think of like mermaids, it's like, oh, it's like the little girl is playing with the shells in the sand. It's like, no, it's a real consciousness that's coming through and a frequency that's awakening in our DNA. And I know that all of you that are here and anyone who is watching this replay, um, like I kind of just see like the DNA like coming online, like little electric shocks of like remembering of being in the water, and it's connected to Lemuria and Atlantis, and mm, yeah, I personally have been moving through like a lot of heaviness, a lot of darkness, continuing to hold this prayer, and all of you who are holding this prayer with me. I can sense there's been, this like denseness and heaviness as we move through the layers of not only like the remembrance, which is so beautiful, but all of like the trauma that happened in these ancient times and, not knowing why it's coming online at this time. Um, Definitely the reason is the waters are asking for this prayer, like our dolphin and whale and sharkin and all of the magical creatures of the ocean, they're emitting this frequency. The waters are emitting this frequency of please help us. We've been so polluted. The waters are so dirty. Like there's so many toxins and chemicals, and that used to be our home, the waters, like everything came from the ocean. We used to swim in the waters together. We used to live there. We used to work with telepathy and crystals and gave birth in the waters. And now the waters of the world um, are really polluted, impure, not clean, and it's reflecting like what's happening in the wombs of women in the world too, with birth control, with, allowing energies that are not, within the sacred sexuality of like exchanging energies on the altar. Mary Magdalene and Yeshua, like this tantric love-making energy, like, and I know I've been um also guilty. Well, I don't want to use the words guilt and shame, but just in the past, allowed unworthy energies into my womb. So, like, the past 10 years of my spiritual conscious path has been cleaning, working with herbs, going to these sacred activating places like Peru that really activate the fire to purify all of the distortion, all of the collective unconscious energies that have been um, programming us since we were little girls. And that's been the prayer of Sirena, is to really clean up everything, like everything in the mind, everything in the womb, in the heart. And we're doing this together because it's not something that can be done alone. Mm, yeah, and there's so much pain collectively. And to even go into some of these conversations that have been in Sirena. Like we literally go into death, grief, rites of passage, sacred sexuality, Lemuria, Atlantis. Like they're not easy themes to go into. So I understand why, my ego human self was thinking like, oh, it's good, we're gonna reach thousands and thousands of women. But Serena has been telling me and channeling through me that, you know, we are the pioneers of this mermaid consciousness and reawakening our wombs to this frequency, which is a galactic frequency, which is connected to Lemuria. And a lot of people aren't ready yet, but because of the fact that we came all together and we've been present in this collective prayer together, which is not only, me and the guest teachers. It's like it's a prayer that's backed up by all of the plants and not only just, the plants, but like powerful master plants. And, just the fact that you're here, or if you're watching this, I'm congratulating you because it's not easy to remember all of these things and to kind of just move like all the pieces, all the stuck energies in the womb to like open up to this very light, high frequency coming from the stars and also coming from the deepest part of the earth, this mermaid consciousness. And mm, yeah, so on that note, I just want to honor everyone here, honor anything that you're feeling, because the siren is not only about the light and the beauty and the joy, she's about the darkness and going into the depths. And it's not only women that are suffering, it's our brothers, it's the masculine, the men. I've been doing a lot of work with men lately, and the men are having a lot of trouble opening up their hearts. There's like a lot of blockages, a lot of walls, a lot of anger. And I really feel, as mermaids, as sirens, as the sisterhood of the mermaid consciousness in the womb, it really is our responsibility and duty to bring bring the power and the lessons and the initiations and the integration of the depths, bring it like up to the light and like swim up, and also hand in hand hold our brothers and hold them in their grief in of their whole masculine lineage, of the repression of their emotions, of, their own trauma too, their trauma of what they've done to women in the past, how they learned about sex through pornography, or, you know, disrespecting women, not honoring their feminine. Sirena is all about the integration of the masculine and feminine. And through that integration of the inner and outer, the inner union of our own masculine and feminine, that's when the outer union shows up. So for those of us that are wanting to be in union, wanting to be with our beloved, um, as women, it's important to integrate our masculine. And yeah, just acknowledging that there's so much suffering on the planet, and there's so much beauty. And we're all so young and beautiful and so talented and powerful. And that our frequency, like being in our power, being in our joy and our play, as Amaya was sharing as she channeled the mermaids, that's actually what's going to lift up the frequency of all the suffering. So we don't need to we can be in the suffering and grief. And I know that it's heightened when we're getting our bleed and in our luteal, but also remember that um and of us staying in that suffering and that stuck energy and feeling like we're not worthy to be happy and to be beautiful and powerful because other people are suffering and they're also going through their own process. We are really the pillars of light. And, people are going to remember this. I can feel like how much Serena has touched people, even if they just saw like one story or one post and then they didn't go into the library, because the library is super coded and super protected and really prayed over. But I can already feel like all the like lights waking up, like all of the electricity. And these people, these sisters are going to remember like when they start to see the mermaids, when the mermaids start to come in their dreams, when they start to wonder why they're so drawn to oils and water and these certain crystals and telepathy and psychic energy, spiritual energy, sacred sexuality, like they're gonna remember that we did this, and they may come to us like months, years later. So everything is perfect, everything is aligned. And I know that this has awakened a lot of you too, as well as me. She's initiated me. So I would love to hear from some of you, all of you, if you feel we have time, what Sirena has awakened within you and anything that you want to share that you're also channeling as we're still in the Akashic Record energy and prayer. Any lessons or any mermaid wisdom that's coming through you, and really stay in your heart, your womb, and your mind. Like, don't think about it. I've really just like channeled. I'm not even I don't even know what I just said. So um yeah, if you would like to go, you can just unmute yourself, and when you're finished, just let us know that you're complete by saying I'm complete, and we can just keep in this flow. And yeah, we can also be in spaces of silence as well. Everything is welcome. Mm.
Or good afternoon, everyone.
Mm.
Good morning in some places. Carla, Danielle, for having us on here.
It's kind of hard to hear you. Can you turn your volume up? Sorry.
Can
Hmm.
you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so thank you, Danielle, for having us. And yeah, just saying hi to everyone else. I'm Carla. Nice to meet you. Yeah, I'm super grateful for this space. I really resonated with what you were sharing about, like that, even that inner resistance to like what's coming up and why am I feeling so much. I definitely woke up today be having some things like moving and very related to what you shared. Um, myself, I'm on this like branding journey with telling my story, with really stepping into my power, and in my business and in my work. And part of that the homework of the what I've been prompted to by my mentors and coaches is to like tell my story. And so, yeah, today I decided to go like on Facebook because I've had Facebook the longest since like 2008. And I was like, let me go back and see some pictures of like my journey so I can like, get inspired around what I want to share. And oh my God, it was like, it definitely like really impacted me, like going back even like almost close to 20 years, 16, 18 years. Um, like witnessing myself, yeah, as a young maiden, like seeing all of me and like, and all that potential, all that beauty just like wasted on a lot of partying, drug abuse. And yeah, I know like making decisions around my sexuality that weren't from the best place. Especially, I was like, I know I love traveling. I started traveling from a very young age, and just being out in the world by myself with no guidance. I really, yeah, chased, a certain high or a certain validation of my self worth through my sexuality, and it brought up a lot of this womb healing and just like really recognizing like wow how deep the healing goes, like even yeah, 10, 16 years later, like still layers peeling back around that, and how due to not respecting my body back then, like, there's still some imprints of shame or of guilt, like the opposite of pride or virtue, or like yeah, just like, well, I do feel responsible, but just those energies of pleasure of like, oh, I'm proud of myself, what I did. Like, I can see how even so many years ago, that subtle wound, that subtle trauma has impacted me till now. And now that I am like going so deep with the plant medicine and with my coach and my business and myself, and like I'm in this like phase of like reclaiming all of my power back, and just like also seeing like all of the beauty that I have had in that story and how I didn't honor it because at certain times like certain partners came into my life to show me where I wasn't respecting myself or I wasn't holding myself in that high self-worth. And yeah, in this phase of like now being in like a really beautiful relationship with someone that's really helping me heal my nervous system. And it's just like all unconditional love. Um, yeah, just getting to like call those parts back. And I really felt like, wow, like that, the deepest waters. And so you just mentioning that this morning, yeah, really helped me kind of integrate to something that my maestro said when in my dieta or my retreat when he was cleansing me. Like he was like, wow, like he had was doing a cleansing for me that was like an hour long, and he was like shared like, wow, like I almost cried like from what you've been through. And I've sat with this man, this maestro, countless times, and he's already done countless cleansings. I'm like, what else are you cleansing? But now that like you were like I'm sitting with like what I was feeling today and just what you shared, I'm like, oh my God, yeah, like there's this new layer that is coming up to the surface. And it's so needed because if I'm gonna move forward into this new era, this new dimension with all of my resources and all of my energy, yeah, like I need to go into those darkest parts and continue to reclaim that part of me, and yeah, really hold her, that version of me, and just like the highest light, and just really acknowledge and honor her courage and her bravery, even if she did do things that resulted in harsh lessons. Ultimately, it is what led me to be who I am and to be really passionate about guiding and mentoring other women, especially my younger sisters, into really loving themselves and to really understanding what their needs are, their boundaries, and their desires, and how to walk with like a lot more with self-love, self-respect, and how to use this this frequency, right? This Shakti in like the highest best way. And so, yeah, I felt, yeah, thank you for giving me the space to share that.
Thank you so much, Carla. I love you so much, and I really see you as my older sister. And yeah, I feel we have a lot of resonance with that path of sacred sexuality and like the path of just not being, as refined with our sexuality because we didn't have the elders and the teachers. And I really feel like we're doing this for our future daughters or the daughters of our sisters and friends. And yeah, I feel like I wanted to share on that point. Like, think about like when we grew up, when we were like 14 and not having the rites of passage of our bleed. And like, there wasn't even AI back then. And now there's just all this like virtual ways of people to like actually be so disconnected from true sacred sexuality and true union. And like, just seeing like, yeah, I can see why this consciousness is coming online to like break through the trauma and the generational curses because of what's going to happen in the future. And we're really prepping for the future daughters and the leaders of this world, like the little seeds, the babies that are coming, and like all the things that they're going to have to face all of these technologies, which can be used for beauty and good, but also can be even stronger used for distortion and disconnection. Mm. So who's feeling to go next? Maybe Naomi. I'm always feeling you.
I was actually going to volunteer because my experience since Sirena started has been very similar, actually, unexpectedly. Um, yeah, since the Sirena portal opened, I have also been going on this journey of uncoupling from a partner who I love to pieces, yet there was a misalignment somewhere between womb and heart. And I think, like many of us, also stepping up, stepping forward personally in life and business. And yeah, there was just a misalignment that I didn't want to look at. And I think with this new moon in Virgo kind of coming with her sword of truth to pierce the illusions, yeah, the uncoupling happened yesterday. So in the last 24 hours, been in a lot of grief and just accepting and holding all the beauty of the death. And 2 days before the uncoupling, I had a dream. I was like pretty sure by that point that it was over. Aloe vera had been coming into my field. I was actually watching the call that you recorded with Michaela. And it was really funny because aloe came to me like 2 weeks before I watched that call. I'd been navigating BV, like bacterial vaginosis, for some time within my womb, and aloe came to me one day and just whispered in my ear and said, "Pick me, pick me." And so I'd been working intentionally with aloe vera, and then I watched the call, and so when she said like insert aloe vera internally, I hadn't been working with aloe that way, but that was the second time that I had heard about using aloe internally. An indigenous healer here in my community told me to try that, and then I heard that again, so I did. And it was funny, like a week after she like rejected me, not rejected, but she just didn't want to work with me in that way anymore. And then 2 days ago, I had a dream that I was in a plant walk and we were being taken around a garden and laurel came up to me, like a laurel tree. I've never ever thought about laurel, but laurel came to me. And then the next morning, I just like Googled to see what laurel was about. And it was all about like um, victory and achievement and kind of completion of a cycle. And that it just became very clear, like a confirmation, because it felt like one of those dreams that was very, like much like a transmission. So yeah, also dissolving a lot of shame, sexual shame, and choices and decisions that I've made in the past, and also the shame around those choices and shame from people, especially women, mom, sisters, friends in life who, um, yeah, have been very judgmental or critical around, I guess, my sexual journey. And I didn't expect any of this to kind of be the theme of this month, um, but it was. And it's funny because I've been listening just slowly to the calls in Sirena since they were available, and the part the section within Sirena that was like least like I felt this feeling towards were the sacred union calls. I was like, nope, I'd rather look at Atlantis or something else, like I didn't feel that. And then in the last few days I've just been drawn to them. So I think that that's how Sirena, the consciousness of Sirena, is wanting to work with me. But yeah, that's a little bit of how Sirena has been kind of guiding me in the last few weeks. It's so nice to connect with you all.
Wow, so much medicine in your share. Feeling you so much. It's really interesting because when I went through an initiation, I went through a pregnancy loss last year. I got pregnant in Brazil, almost like maybe a year and a half ago. But I remember I was studying with one of my Brazilian midwives, Lissandra, and we were doing a ritual on spring equinox on March 21st, which in Brazil, like that, it's like winter when it's summer in California or something like that. And we were working with Laurel, and I didn't know I was pregnant at the time. And we did like a yoni steam with Laurel, and she told me it was about like releasing the past and like negative stagnant energies. And it's also like the victory with the new cycle. I remember it was like the most psychedelic shamanic experience, just yoni steaming with Laurel. And I also know that in like ancient Greece, it's called bay leaf. So it's also really for prosperity and abundance. You can write, you can write what you would like to bring in and then burn it. And yeah, I just want to honor you, Naomi, because I can really like, I'm so attuned and so psychic, and and Serena, like, I can just feel how much you've honored this container and how you've really dove in like fully. Like, you've been a true mermaid showing up. I've been loving, all of the content you've made. And I know that, this is all it's like also like practice, like for just continuing to pour into your business and being so dedicated, you know, even when you're not receiving like the amount of kind of like what you should be receiving, because really for what you've been giving, it's like I know, like I see you and I know it's hard because I've also been there. It's like just like continuing the prayer and you feel like you're alone, like I but it's just like your spiritual power and your like mermaid womb and your fins and your scales and your beauty. It's like that is just, it's so crystalline. So I really see you and I'm so proud of you. And yeah, like everything is seen. Everything's seen by Sirena in spirit, and she loves you. Um, yeah. Mm. Who wants to go next? It's super fun, I promise, just to talk.
I'll
I
share.
think I'm the only one.
Oh.
Can you hear me all right?
What's, what, did you want to
Great.
go?
Yes.
I'll go.
Um, yeah, I love the previous share actually. It's very related to what I've been going through. Um, I stepped in much later. I've only watched 2 calls so far, but I've loved every um, adjustment um, that came through. And I was thinking just now with the Akashic Records prayer that we had, how with the cleaning of the ocean, how it's always the plants coming forth. And I'm truly a speaker for the plants. And yeah, I just saw all I think you pronounce it algae, um, just the water plants purifying the water. So the plants coming forth through us, honoring this call from the water world, um, seems very fitting for me. And I heard the call of aloe vera as well. Um, and it's kind of relating to yeah, I don't have so much the sexuality things, but I do have a very specific rash on my left breast since a couple weeks. But it has a very specific form. It goes like this, and almost in a spiral, but it goes around the breast, and then it makes another wave or another spiral. Um, yeah, and I'm gonna see what aloe vera. Yeah, if she wants to touch it, I'll listen to the call that was mentioned. And we were so not figuring out the meaning of the rash or anything, and we were just calling it my Moana tattoos. I don't know if you've seen the second Moana movie, but it feels very powerful to me. First one as well, but the second one, where she evolves to this demigod that she actually is. And that's what we've been calling the rash. And it's really beautiful now, stepping more deeply onto this priestess path that my body is giving this totally not urgent or yeah, I'm not worried about it in any way. Um, but it's such a beautiful form, beautiful sign that I want to embrace the meaning of it in this way. And I'm also feeling very much the big contrast in my body and how I am holding contrast. This deep dark in the womb, and then the very high ethereal light frequencies at the same time, and how they collide within us and how they move, and not being scared of them touching and changing and moving into each other is really what's going on in my body, my bigger bodies, and my life. Um, and I've also connected with you, Danielle, a lot on the rainbow frequency. And yeah, I see it as the same thing of connecting the whole spectrum. How also the water, I love how it comes back and together now with the water. How the water can reflect light in this rainbow spectrum. Yeah. And I'm even thinking about this, it's a Hopi prophecy. And I don't know how it goes exactly, but it's like that a new consciousness will come to Earth in the form of a um, family that's called as a people of the rainbow, something like this. And I feel these codes deeply with the mermaids and with what's shared within this container. So thank you for holding it. I love deeply how global this is and feels. We can all connect deeply to our own land, to the country where we live, the spirits there. But these waters and the tales and even our own history go so far beyond um, the place that we're in physically right now. And that's really the web that we are enforcing here. Thank you. That's my share.
Wow, thank you so much. As you were talking, I literally felt like all this pleasure just wave through my body, and I can feel how us sharing about, our sexual shame, about the repression, just being in the space together, going in the depths together, voicing it out is healing so much, and just allowing us to like be in the true light frequency, not faking it, not the fake spirituality of like I'm love and light, but like no, like I go into the depths and the darkness and I show up even when it's hard. And then we're allowed to be in this, not allowed, but we kind of like spirit permits that, that beauty and radiance, which I don't understand why people, you know, send negative energy or get jealous, and why like there's so much distortion of women and their beauty and radiance, when it's like for a sister to get there, she had to go through shit. Like it's not just given. And yeah, as you were speaking, Tina, I saw just like how all of us, yeah, this really global international mermaid sisterhood and all the places on the planet we are right now, how we're really holding it down and holding this frequency, and was just seeing how we've swam and like visited each other in these different currents, and how we've all swam together in the same ocean. Lemuria, I miss it so much. Mm. There was someone that wanted to share at the same time. Was it you, Luna? Or you? Okay, Brittany, you can go after.
Yeah, it was me. Yeah. Hello, beautiful mermaids, everyone together. I'm so happy to see some faces face to face here. So beautiful. I'm in Norway right now. It's getting dark. I went on a little journey, but yeah. It is absolutely like just very touching, super heartwarming for me to be in this space because yeah, I like before Daniele was inviting me to the space, I barely shared my healing to the world, just to, yeah, it was just like just sharing in nature, sharing and praying for unity in nature all by myself alone for so many years, feeling so, yeah, just so different, feeling so cutted from everything else since I was not, yeah, I was not, my journey was just not as all other journeys, and I always felt like so out of place and not like not belonging to society, not being a part of it all, and feeling so much pain, so much hurt, and so much um yeah, just so much wrong things that are there, just seeing so many layers of this false trapped cage that yeah, that we got trapped in. And yeah, it's just very beautiful to share this space with other people who share the same vision, who have the same frequency, who vibrate the same, to who remember the truth, and who are there to not get down by all the things that are surrounding us and try to push our energy down, to stand up with all that we have, even if we know that we're not perfect. But because of this movement, I feel like I feel so held with all the layers in myself that may sense some imperfection, to know that it's not about being perfect. It's about sharing and standing up with all that you have, for unity to rise and to help whatever it is, even if it's just the tiniest fart that you have, even if it's just the tiniest little butterfly that stumbles inside of your stomach and is ready to be released. It's just about, yeah, just about remembering that it doesn't matter what you have, but you do carry something that is able to raise and help it all to flourish. And um and and by coming together and sharing, each one of us, our own healing journey and our own spark that we carry, kind of healing that we carry for the world, makes it so powerful, because we're not alone, and we know that we're not crazy. We're not it's not that we're the ones that are out of tune. No, that's not what it is. The world is out of tune, and that's why we're here, and that's why we feel so out of place. But by coming together makes it so powerful for each one of us to remember that we're not out of place. We're so good that we are the way we are, and we can be so proud of us that we, each one of us, taking our on the way of being a part of this healing, because it's something very big. And um and 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 especially now during these past months, it got so intense, the signal. It's like absolute shouts that you cannot overhear. And I don't know, it's just yeah, it's just super crazy and super exciting also to be alive during this time, to be able to be part of this grand reawakening. It is just like, oh yeah, I just woke up, and it's like, bams, there you are. Now you have to fight. Now it's the time. Now you have to shine. Shed off all these layers. Burn it all, and just go for it. Yes, it's like, whoa, wait, but I just woke up, and now it's the time. Now I really have to, like, now I have to shine as bright as I can. And I just forgot about this negative low vibrations, like, boom, okay. But yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful journey, and we all yeah, can feel so freaking humbled and honored that we made it, that we kept our pure pearl of heart, for the world to heal and to shine bright, baby. And yes, really, like, yeah, it's just very yummy, and makes me like super, yeah, it's just super tender inside, that I'm not alone anymore. And s- I think with the Sirena, really, after I went to this Norway trip that I'm still in, but during this trip, it's like I don't even have words for what has shifted in my uh, external reality since I went into crazy union within my mother, father, child trinity infusion within. It's just a crazy merge that got me into such a beautiful reality, such a absolute abundant era. And I just wish this for everyone, because we all been birthed into this realm for reclaiming this birthright of coming back to our lucid dream, and and drinking all the beauty with this lucid dreaming state, so we can like, yeah, just take it all in, and being as authentic and as loving and as pure as possible. And just, yeah, and I just feel so strong and feel so, it's not about, it's not anymore about that I have to hold on to the vision. It's more that I just have this deep knowing that there's no way back, and that we're so on the way, and that there are so many souls waking up to their strong power right now to reclaim what has been forgotten and has been sleeping for so long. And yeah, we can just feel, yeah, we can be very happy to come back to these ancient times even stronger, because we have been sleeping for so long. So we've been healing in the sleep for so long now, that we get to rise and experience this reality as juicy as it can be, and has ever, like, juicier than it has ever been. So yeah, yeah, very, 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 very glad for you all, and just very thankful for the space and for all the wisdom that has been shared in the womb. Until now, I haven't had too much time. I was listening maybe to 2 calls until now, but I was like, boom, very like goosebumps over my whole body, the whole call's over. And it's like, just cannot believe that there's so much more to tap in. Don't know what to say about this. So beyond grateful for you, Daniela, to putting us all together, for making this vision, manifesting this vision in this realm, and giving us the opportunity to yeah, feel safe and even stronger after this reunion with us all, with all our women now being together. Yeah, just m- makes a big difference in my reality, and makes me feel so much more centered and strong within myself, and with what is my mission. What my mission is, and not to take it just like that, but knowing that it's beyond, and that my lifetime, this lifetime, um um yeah, is about taking myself, like, my what, how to say it, the egocentric self-identification self so much back, so I can really, like, just be in total service for the highest good. And yeah, just made it so much easier and so much clear, so much more clear for my inner vision to 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 go on with the mission that I have, and being there with no doubt no more. And yeah, just very, very beautiful. Come on, come. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. Love you all. Forehead kisses, heart kisses. May our more path be blessed. And yeah, thank you. Mhm.
Thank you, Luna. Yeah, as you were speaking, I just had this vision, take it literally or figuratively, but just like with you, with all these like little mermaid babies in the water. And just that, there's so much for you to birth and so much medicine for you to share. And I was feeling like this kind of collective tenderness, and even within myself of, Sirena, the portal closing and ending, but it's actually beginning, like it's just starting, and just seeing like all the possibilities of like more cross collaboration and more connection and even in-person connection for all of us to just continue sharing this frequency and the medicine of knowing like, I could be in Sirena for like the next 4 years, but I know that she came so strongly in this moment for me to birth this, to channel this. And then it's like to give her like a ceremonial opening and ceremonial ending to transition, to alchemize into just new pathways, because there's so much to share and there's already so many codes to dissect within, the 34 conversations that we shared, and just to know that, I'd love to be holding this frequency forever, but it is a lot to hold. And I really had to be like in the prayer constantly, working with medicines, working with my teachers. Like it's not just, something that I just did and I haven't been, it's like every single day, every waking moment, every lesson, every person I interact with, it's like Sirena speaking through me. And it's like after this, I feel like there will be an integration period. Maybe I'll even host like a 1 month post integration call is what's coming through. And yeah, like the medicine of just like our wombs are not open for everyone all the time, 24/7. Like our society wants us to be. It's like there's a timing and there's a door that opens, and those, if you don't enter the door, if you don't go through that door, then the portal closes. Spirit's not just going to keep this sacred treasure open forever. It's like you have a moment to go, you have time, and you're given like signs and you're given encouragement, and then it's like up to you to just step through it to the other side. And there's just so many dimensions and so many levels to go through. But just like the fact that all of you are here in the Sirena portal, it's like already up leveling so much. And we also have to be conscious of how much we feed ourselves and not kind of like you're not gonna like give a baby like 10 bottle like 10 like the baby knows when to stop feeding. And we kind of have to do that with ourselves, especially for those of us that weren't breastfed like myself. It's like we have to know when it's time to kind of cut off the food from spirit and kind of integrate all of that. Otherwise, we're gonna get sick and vomit. And the body just knows naturally what to do. Anyways, I know Brittany, you wanted to share, so I'll let you go.
Wow. So much goodness. Oh my goodness. There's just so much information. Like as you're sharing that, Danielle, I'm like, wow, that's such a good point. Like just the way that there can be so much that can come in, especially as these like receptive, sensitive, like portal like woman, like one, the gates and being a guardian of those gates of when to open and when to close. And also like when to know that we have enough within us and to like either empty what's not meant for us or like digest and metabolize it, which is, yeah, oh my goodness. Well, I will share firstly that I dreamt about being a mermaid last night. And then I like knew that this call was happening, but it didn't really click until like we started talking. I'm like, oh my God, this is like so connected. I had a dream last night that I was with this past lover. And that's another theme that has been present since being part of this portal, since you've invited me. Like a few months prior, like a lot of dreams of past lovers, like men I haven't thought about in like so long. Just like a little brief connection, like coming into my dream realm to close something or acknowledge something so then it can now release. But the dream last night, I was like a mermaid creature or embodiment. Like I don't know if I was like actually a mermaid, but I had that energetic code within me. And I lived by the ocean, and it was like this dark, kind of stormy ocean feeling. And I went to go to this past lover who I often felt like he was a bit restrained in his energetic expression. And I kind of felt like, oh, is he in touch with that primal masculine that is important for me in a partner? And in the dream, his sheets were like perfectly crisp and white. And he's like living in this like uptight kind of cabin. And I was like trying to like bring him into like the stormy, like deep feminine waters or like and show him what else is available. And that was my dream. And yeah, there's so many synchronicities as you were all speaking around the mermaid line and this lineage that is ancestral to us women who are keepers of the feminine wisdom, the womb, the fertility codes. Like it's almost like it's taken a moment for it all to catch up for me of all of the crossovers of all of this. But I'm seeing in my own life, like yesterday, I went to a family party with my father's side, and my father was born in Jamaica, and his mother was like is part Costa Rican, and my great aunt, my grandmother's sister, she was like, guess what? We fulfilled the prophecy. I'm like, even the words she used, like, I'm like, she's
Wow.
actually saying this. And she's like, we made it to Costa Rica. We fulfilled the prophecy. Like, she's like in her like late 70s, 80s, and she went with her twin sister. And because she was like, my mother was born there and her mother was born there. And she's like, and I know that you've been there before. Will you return? Let me know. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then I remember, Danielle, that was where I felt this first kind of like mermaid energy. And then when we connected, you were there. So anyways, this is just so much excitement. But I feel grateful to be here with you all and to be part of this, like this animate like web. I feel like this is such a big part of my heart, the feminine arts and just this mythology and this wisdom, like being taken more seriously. Like there's something in me that's just like, wow, this is like not just story time fairy tale. Like this is our embodiment. And I even feel it in my own body and bones, like my memory of that mermaid connection, especially being like a daughter of the diaspora, of just like the African, Latin American, like there's just so much that lives in like the somatic memory in my body. And I'm just like, wow, like just this feeling of taking it seriously and really guarding it and like, yeah, just being like, oh my God, like this is history. It's not just like fairy tale, right? So yeah, last night I also felt like the new moon was the exact degree of my moon in Virgo. And as I was
Wow.
falling asleep on the new moon, I was getting all of this. I just got like, look at my goosebumps. I got all of this earth mandala sacred geometry coming through as I was doing this womb massage and I was getting all of these visuals of like flowers and like portals of blue light and just this like again this like somatic memory that is in our bodies, um just like of something so profound that we can't really like logically understand. And that's what I feel like this what we're all within here is like part of. Like Sirena is just like, wow, like look at this lives within you, this wisdom, these visuals, this memory. So I feel excited and I feel like already my womb is like, yes, like thank you. Like even walking this path for many years and receiving so much on it, like every different moment of the path has a different medicine. And I feel like this mermaid, lineage is in my life for a reason, and I'm receptive and excited, and I've been quite busy the last couple months, so I'm looking forward to, like, I feel like it's like right on time with this opening call and like that last festival I was at, like everything's like, all right, there's space now to really be present with her energy and kind of be in this like courtship of like, oh, like what do you want me to know and who are you, and showing that like respect, like bringing the offering to her as this like guardian of what we're all devoted to. So I'm looking forward to like tuning into all the library and getting to know all the different women, the medicine there, and specifically pouring more of my energy and attention, or even pouring into myself, like all of this, and pulling it from like past partners and relationships. As Danielle knows, there's been a lot of like revisiting past partners and closing doors. And it feels like an opportunity to really center in like my radiance and not get distracted by like love addiction tendencies and past like allure from ex partners, and just have this space to really fill my own heart and also feed Sirena and this growing living entity. So much gratitude to be part and to just see the way this wisdom is going to reach so many women. And I'm holding the prayer that the next 7 days, as the doors open, that the women who are meant to receive enter, and that they receive the exact wisdom video, even if it's like half of one, that they just receive what they need to. Because like is it Luna who spoke before me, that you were saying, like, this energy takes us out of the ego and the self and the like, just the mind that is like in separation and comparison and like self-driven, and into the prayer that every woman remembers the sacredness of her body and her womb and her truth and her unique essence. And I feel like that's what this kind of medicine has been for me, of the feminine path. Like, we're all women with hearts, with sensitive wombs and yonis, and it's just this essence that each of us have that is so unique. And when we all remember that together, that births like a whole new ecosystem and cosmology of Earth and the children who come through us, if we decide to do that. So wow, thank you, Danielle, for creating this and for the woman weaving together. And I'm excited to see what else opens. Yeah, so much gratitude.
Thank you, love. That was so beautiful. Wow. I love how we're just dropping deeper into this state of no mind. When you were talking about the visuals, it really felt like it was like, is that DMT? Did you just like activate DMT within your body? And then that's what I feel like. The mermaid consciousness is so otherworldly. Like you can't even put into words. It's like so many worlds. And I also had a Sirena dream last night. Now I'm realizing like she was showing me, when I see Sirena, she comes to me through many different forms, through like the different goddesses, like, and also ayahuasca. And I feel like she was just showing me like my fears and what I'm feeding. And I was seeing like these, I was brought into like one of my deepest fears right now, the fear that's very present for me. And she was showing me like that whole timeline of my fear acting out in reality, because my thoughts of that fear, or my unconscious thoughts of that fear, are, sabotaging what is the truth, what is the truth of my reality and how I create it. And she kind of showed me that whole theatrical play of my fear becoming real. And then she kind of gave me an option. It was like this silver fish. She was like, what, I don't know. It's kind of like, what fish are you going to cast, or like, what are you going to draw in? And she showed me, yeah, that fear wasn't real. And I'm still like integrating all of that. But yeah, there's been a lot of medicine, a lot to integrate. I like to say that like you could literally watch one of the Sirena conversations like 11 times, and still there would be new codes to learn, because the flow of the conversation, and I'm sharing this for those watching the replay or for those that don't know, was never something really planned. Like I literally held the space and I knew what each woman was going to speak about, and there were some guidelines, but we just opened that Akashic portal, the records within our wounds, to just flow. And whatever came through was what was meant to be heard in that moment and shared collectively. So, mm, yeah, holding space for the last few shares.
So timely to feel called to drop into this space because, hi, I'm Angelica. um, so much of my journey is about riding through the depths. And when Danielle asked for me to speak, this topic of like going through initiations within death and rebirth has been so prominent in my life. And, witnessing so many sisters moving through these cycles, and essentially the purge of all of these timelines that are ready to be purged out of us collectively. And when we're facing these different death cycles and experiencing the consciousness streams coming online and like landing into our body, it can feel really uncomfortable. It can bring us to our knees and, ask us to seek more guidance from Creator and like really emphasize the importance of having, energetic protection and spiritual hygiene and really honing in on what is the truth of our connection and our center and our wombs. And when these cycles come forward and we're finding these patterns that we relive or revisiting these, people who have come into our lives or these memories that are coming forward as they're being purged, and that discomfort comes forward, it's like asking us to lean in and that the only way out is through. And like so often, like, if we're experiencing something, like maybe we can only take a peek of it and we're not really willing to like fully submerge ourselves into that space of darkness because it feels so unknown. It feels so like scary. Essentially, we've been holding on to it for so long. This goes beyond this physical body that we carry in this present moment. It is from lifetimes and lifetimes and ancestral remembrance, right? And so it's like, as these ways of being and patterns present themselves, and we're like extracting them from our bodies so we can carry more light, so that we can cleanse the waters that have been dammed inside of us and dammed inside of our ancestral lines. Like, it's really asking us to just be present with it and to honor where we're at right now. So many of us are in such transformational times of our lives, whether we're, coming online and we're sharing ourselves more and like opening the veil to be seen more, or we're birthing creative projects, or we're birthing children and sharing our medicine in the world. Like, it's such a powerful time to, like recode those waters within us, to allow those waters to, be to cry, to let it out, to free the dams within us. And um, yeah, I just feel really thankful and honored to be a part of this collective woven thread of sisterhood, and to like witness how just by us sharing our medicine, sharing our gifts, and like sparking these conversations in our daily lives and living in the embodiment of this path, that we're able to like ripple out into all of these unseen spaces, all of these distorted places, and where illusion has been cast. And we give ourselves this opportunity to like restore the templates of truth onto this ancient earth and like carry her wisdom through. Like, we as adults, we are that next line, the next ones who are the wisdom keepers, right? Like, we are here to allow our bodies to become such clear vessels for that truth to pour through, so that we can carry it on to the future generations. And that comes with great responsibility to honor our bodies, to honor what's moving through us, to do the work that we've come here to do, but also not like beat ourselves up for experiencing what we're feeling, right? It's like we go through these times of shadow and grief and fear and anger and, relation and discomfort. And as we're waking up, it can feel so overwhelming, and really like to be held in safekeeping while we experience those feelings, to be held in a sacred container, to be able to just let it flow through as it wants to come through. There doesn't have to be a rhyme or a reason or a definition for what we're feeling. We're allowed to just like express it and to let it be free. Because as these sirens, as these mermaids, as these priestesses of water, like, we're carrying the vessel that can hold this water and renew it and clear it and restore it and pour our prayers into it, so that all of humanity, all of the beings among the land, all of the plant teachers and the mineral kingdom and all of the animal messengers, and so that everyone can feel that spark of creation and come home to that restoration of truth within their being. And it's just such powerful medicine that each of us are carrying. And yeah, my prayer for the waters of our bodies is that we remember and that we are able to just hold ourselves with that tender, loving care. So thank you, Danielle. It's just been such an honor to be a part of this stream.
Thank you, beautiful. Thank you, Mama, for showing up. Thank you to all the mothers present. Mm. So I know there was someone else here, but didn't look like they had their video on. Let's see. Yeah, I think everyone shared. So I'm gonna close with a song that came to me when I first arrived in Peru 3.5 months ago. And it was a song that came to me through communing with Mama Coca, who's here. It's yeah, a beautiful coca leaf that in Peru, in the Andean cosmology, coca is like the goddess mother. They pray with her, they offer coca leaf to all of the sacred temple sites. You know, coca is the food of the spirits here, of the Apus, the sacred mountains, the sacred sites. And also for ourselves, coca holds a lot of minerals and helps to open up the voice. And so let me do live performance auto on. Let me just double check the sound. Carla, can you let me know if the sound is good? Seated. Okay, perfect. Sirena del agua de las plantas de Mama Coca. Sirena del agua de las plantas de Mama Coca. Sirena encantadora, rainha del mar e manja. Sirena encantadora, rainha del mar e manja. Sirena del agua antigua del amor. Sirena antigua del agua del amor. Sirena. Just wanting to share with those of you that are here and those of you that are listening, because you deserve these codes. You're so worthy. You're so loved. So Sirena is mermaid siren, but in this song, she revealed to me that she's saying Sirena, like yes, queen. And then reina, it's like king, king, re, king in Spanish. And it's really about the inner union of our inner masculine and inner feminine, our inner king and our inner queen. Only through then will we, receive those keys of, our outer king, our masculine, our divine partner. And, there's a lot of veils that get placed on that, There's a lot of veils. Sometimes we don't see, sometimes we know, but we have to go through initiations and the illusion of not knowing. And that the guiding light is, our inner authority, like reigning in our sovereignty, in our worthiness, in our beauty, in our abundance, in our hearts, in unlocking our throats, our voices. Only through communication, through singing, through speech, can we unlock all of these codes in our womb. It's not through staying silent, but there is medicine in knowing when to stay silent and when to keep things for yourself, and maybe keep some secrets for yourself forever. Maybe share things only with those that you know you can really trust and that are worthy of receiving. And yeah, just honoring you all. Thank you for showing up and, allowing me to feel safe, allowing my human nervous system to feel safe to share that code, which I've been holding so deep to my womb. But you all deserve to receive that. And I love you all. Thank you so much. And yeah, the last 7 days, just pushing this final wave, knowing that there are still some mermaids out there that really need to receive these codes in this moment, and trusting all of your voices, and trusting, our presence. And this prayer and this ceremony has been so felt, and so many activations. And yeah, thank you.